Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Applebaum from PM Squared Consulting. People recognize objectives and key results are a powerful framework for driving strategy execution. In this video, I'll explain how implementing OKRs also gives you a powerful tool for change management. Having a framework to manage unexpected changes is particularly important now. With repeated sudden shifts in technology, climate, the regulatory environment, changes we might have thought of in terms of years, we now think of in terms of months, weeks, even days. And we've probably all heard the statistic that roughly 70% of change efforts fail. The good news is we do understand top reasons why they fail, and OKRs can help with that. The top reason for a change effort failing is lack of leadership alignment. To succeed, a leadership team needs to unite around a clear and compelling vision for the future, and then actively engage in showing people the way forward. When leaders don't share a common vision and don't visibly engage in the change, that effort is likely to stall. Poor planning can also sabotage a change effort. If people lack well-defined objectives, specific targets, and milestones, they'll likely feel stuck with unrealistic timelines that they don't feel able to question, vague expectations they can't satisfy, and insufficient resources to do the work, all of which adds up to a recipe for burnout. Poor communication and low psychological safety can likewise undermine change efforts. Inadequate communication from leadership before or during the change leads to misunderstandings, rumors, and eventually distrust. If employees believe they can't talk honestly about what's working or not working, they won't call out problems during a change effort, and that increases the chances of failure. We're often reluctant to give up familiar ways of doing things, but it's the combination of unaligned leadership, low quality planning, and poor communication that tips the balance for people, and that's when reluctance hardens into active resistance to change. So fix the first three issues, and resistance to change becomes manageable. Now let's look at how an OKR system enables you to fix these problems. How do OKRs align your leadership team? The first step is in implementing OKRs is for the leadership team to build a strategy map. This example is from our work with Southwest Airlines. To create the strategy map, leadership defined the most important strategic objectives that combined together would enable that airline to achieve its business aims. Creating that map was a forcing function that got the entire leadership team on the same page about objectives and priorities. How do OKRs drive high quality planning? OKRs help leadership to prioritize the most critical aspects of the change effort. Using the strategy map you just saw, Southwest leaders identified the specific areas in which each department would have the highest impact. For each area of high impact, they wrote specific key results with defined targets to move the strategy forward. Each department's key results were written in terms of metrics or project milestones. Here you can see the objective, improve customer experience, and three key results. The first key result, reduce average response time to customer calls, shows the quarter-by-quarter improvement we're aiming for. The second related key result tracks our training targets for support staff, and the third key result is implementing a new service desk training program, so targets are expressed as project milestones. This example shows how OKRs push us to not stop at high-level strategic objectives, but instead do high-quality planning with specific targets that enable leaders to track progress. Combined with regular performance meetings, this empowers the team to course correct in a timely way. How do OKRs improve the quality of communication in the business? The conversations involved in creating and sharing a strategy map and defining objectives and key results strengthens communication and alignment. But the most dramatic communication gains you'll see begin when you turn on the process by running performance meetings. As teams gain confidence running these meetings, they get used to having transparent performance conversations that are focused on problem solving, not assigning blame. This fosters collaboration and psychological safety. Plus, as people start negotiating interdependencies, silos begin to break down. We coach teams using a walk, jog, run model, meaning that we first help teams learn to do performance meetings at a gradual pace, build trust and familiarity with the process, and as the team takes more and more ownership, help them to increase the pace to the point where they're running the performance process on their own. So, as you've seen, OKRs build the organizational competencies that enable you to navigate changes, aligning and engaging leadership around your strategy, driving high quality planning that links people's daily work to that strategy, and improving the quality of collaboration and problem solving on your teams. These ingredients provide the whole business with a framework to manage a change effort and work through challenges along the way. Taken together, it's a recipe to overcome people's resistance to change and channel that energy into creating a more unified, motivated business. We'd love to talk to you further. If you want to learn more about this, reach out to me at mark@pmsquaredconsulting.com.